Hello everyone, welcome. This is the Soulverse podcast, episode 20. I am Jessica Delmar. I assist in strengthening your knowledge of who you truly are as a powerful creator being during these powerfully shifting times. And in this episode, we are going to be diving further into this whole gut mind that we've been talking about over the past few weeks. Because, the opening up of the gut, the releasing of a lot of that energy in the gut, which is a lot of ancient energy within our own individual experiences, but especially within our collective experience. There's so much ancient old energy being released that no longer serves where we are as a collective moving into 5D. And so what we've been talking about in terms of opening up that gut mind is about really understanding and perceiving truth in your physical experience. So this is very much about sifting and sorting the physical experience because we are physical beings having a physical experience. And the awakening process, the ascension into 5D, is not only a consciousness ascension, it's not only a spiritual, non-physical ascension, but it's a physical ascension as well. So we're learning how to evolve both spiritually, non-physically, and physically in form. So it's the whole package moving into 5D. But right now, with 2020, what's really being open for us to grab hold of and receive is the physical awakening and the physical transformation into 5D. And a big part of that is understanding and sifting and sorting between truth and illusion in the physical reality. And so there's going to be a lot of things presented to you in your physical reality to get you, just as you've gone through on your spiritual awakening, as many of you have gone through, in terms of understanding truth in that non-physical aspect and who you truly are in that non-physical aspect, but also truth within your mind space and within your consciousness. You've gone through all of this, most of you. You've gone through that sifting and sorting phases. You've gone through the shadow work. You've gone through all of that sort of energetic, non-physical shifting, if you will. But we're really being given an opportunity to bring all of that, what we've learned in that non-physical shifting of consciousness and vibration, into our physical shifting. So it's the same sort of things being applied here, but just figuring out truth in our physical experience. So today's episode is all about navigating with the frequency of truth. You are at a time in your planet's existence in which your solar system is undergoing massive alignment. Each planet represents a stage of awakening and filters waves of energy within Gaia. And we spoke about this in our 144,000 series, which I'll link in the description. So basically, we're going through this sort of car wash energy in terms of aligning to each of the planetary energies as well in our traveling through the journey of awakening. Everything is a micro and a macro of each other, and so we're going to be really talking about this macro aspect of what's going on within our solar system and planetary alignment. Gaia is part of a larger body, which is your solar system. Therefore, she plays a greater role in a greater body, while at the same time playing a great role within her own body and the smaller bodies that exist upon her, such as humans. This solar system alignment deals with an alignment of a greater body. The greater solar system is aligning in accordance to a new frequency wave, meaning the greater solar system body is now resonating at a different frequency. And because of that, the cellular makeup as well as the physical form of the greater solar system body also shifts and transforms to match the vibrational resonance of this greater frequency. And this is similar to how sand particles will change shape. There's videos on YouTube regarding harmonic resonance and how if you place sand on a vibrating table and that vibrating table vibrates at a certain frequency, the sand particles upon that table will shift in its form as a group. And that is harmonic resonance or vibrational resonance to a greater frequency. So what's happening within our solar system, within our planet, within our physical individual forms is all about harmonic resonance to a greater frequency and trying to align to this greater frequency. When you feel resistance, when you feel not ease and not flow, then you're going against that greater frequency, or you're pushing against your natural ability or tendency to want to resonate with it. It also connects to the frozen water crystal experiments done by Dr. Masaru Emoto, who found that frequency or certain vibration placed upon or emitted into water will then form different shapes of the crystalline water when frozen, and the shapes that are created within the crystalline form of the water is in response to the vibration offered to the water. So crystals that were offered vibration of high vibrational frequency, such as gratitude and love and compassion and forgiveness, those water crystals would form beautiful shapes and sacred geometric forms. And the crystals that were exposed to lower vibrational frequencies, such as hate or anger, would form not as pretty water crystals and would very much represent the type of energy that it was exposed to. So we have to look at what's going on energetically in terms of the frequency opening up on the planet, but not only within our planet, but within the entire solar system and the entire universe, which is shifting into a new frequency. Although those frequencies are going to be slightly different depending upon the micro and macro, but they'll all be connected. The form of your greater solar system is changing, and everything within the solar system must change in alignment to the greater frequency in order to continue to exist within the solar system. So anything that does not vibrationally match with the new frequency of the solar system will be pushed out of the solar system, just as your physical bodies push out any toxins and waste that no longer match the vibration of your physical and energetic form. What is going on with your collective consciousness is a herding mentality. And this is in response to sort of everything that's been going on right now that you might see in the news if you watch the news, or all the protests or things that you know, in terms of 3D. The actions and things that are playing out in 3D is what you would call in response to or in action of a herding mentality. And this herd mentality is creating great dissonance in the greater body of Gaia, the greater body of your solar system, meaning that the herd mentality going on in your collective consciousness is one that resists change. But at the same time, everything's playing out exactly the way that it's meant to play out. Everything is exactly unfolding how it's supposed to unfold. Meaning, even though there's a lot of resistance going on in 3D, what that does is it creates more resistance. But all of that resistance has to happen in order to wear down something so deeply for those deep things to be exposed. And so if the resistance wasn't there, then we wouldn't be able to peel back as many layers in terms of the 3D collective reality and consciousness to dive and dig deep into the collective shadow, because it would still be hidden if we didn't have the friction of resistance in 3D. And so there's a great purpose for that resistance, but at the same time, on that greater scale, the greater macro body, it's creating a little bit of dissonance as well. But again, everything serves a greater purpose. You may or may not already be aware of the nonsensical nature of your collective reality that's playing out for you right now in 3D. And we spoke a lot about this in our last video and the analogy that we made to Wonderland. So basically what's going on as everything kind of rises, we're being put into a very Wonderland-ish realm where nothing really is as it seems. Everything is kind of opening into this nonsensical space. And so the reality that we're living in 3D is literally turning upside down. And if you're unable to integrate flexibility, adaptability, and willingness to change and open your perspective, then you're not going to be able to survive the tipping of the boat that's happening. So it's very much, that boat is very much kind of wobbling on fierce water at this time, putting a lot of people in this sort of wobble state, Wonderland state, if you will. These changes are occurring because it's opening the perspective of the self. So this is really important. Again, what we were talking about with resistance is we need that friction of resistance in order to dive deep and really bring up those things that are held deep within to the surface. The same thing is happening with all of these changes going on, with the wobble, with the contrast, with your perspective of understanding that you're in Wonderland. All of this is occurring because it's opening up greater levels and layers of the self, meaning that it's trying to open up your perspective to seeing that you do not exist in a world determined by facts, for example, but that even facts are illusion. There is nothing permanent. There is nothing scientifically proven that cannot be disputed with the laws of the universe. And your collective narrative that have many of you sitting comfortably in your thoughts of how you think that your world is or how you view your world will begin to break down and will begin to show you that even what you thought was truth was just a sense of illusion as well, or was just a sense of false reality. Again, an illusion. This is the shakeup, the storm that we have been speaking about, and you must find your way to the center of the storm in order to view the playing out of your reality with a wider lens. You need to have a wider perspective, that frequency of balance, your connection to your divine inner being. This means that you must also stretch your ability to be flexible and to be adaptable. Your mind is going to stretch, and you may feel pulled in many different directions. This is the feeling of the movement through a powerful wormhole that you, your collective, your planet, and your solar system are all going through. So this is a very distorted space that we're in right now because we're moving through this powerful wormhole, essentially, that's creating a lot of the wobble. It's creating a lot of the stretching. It's creating a lot of the pushing and pulling. It's creating a lot of the up is down, down is up, topsy-turvy energy, warped, distorted energy, the Wonderland-esque energy, if you will, or the Wonderland realm that we find ourselves in right now. Prepare to follow the white rabbit down the rabbit hole and through Wonderland, where up is down and down is up and nothing is as it seems. It's simply a physical manifestation of the stretching in that wormhole space that you're experiencing on a greater solar system level in alignment to a greater body. Those who are able to find the buoy or balance center while maintaining greater perspective of what is happening with the eyes of Source will be able to unlock layers of consciousness that was once hidden, opening the human mind to new stages of enlightenment. We're not going to be going into detail about the things in your collective reality that are shifting. Many of you are already aware of and opening up to this rabbit hole of truth versus false reality. A lot of you are already aware of the matrix system, the corruption going on in our systems, the ritual abuse of humans and children, the elite control, the reptilian agenda, which we will talk a little bit more about because it's important to understand. But there's a lot of darkness that is being exposed or will be exposed in your minds as you navigate this realm of figuring out what is truth versus illusion or false reality for you, and trying to figure out what exactly is your truth. And you're going to have to really understand how to navigate this realm of following your inner truth, but also strengthening your inner truth and knowing what it is for you. And it's not anything that anyone can tell you. This is going to be a whole other journey for yourself in terms of strengthening your inner truth and pinpointing what that truth is for you. And we're all, because we're in this very warped portal right now, this very warped space, your truth may be different from someone else's truth. People at this moment are very much seeing the world through very different lenses. So you have to, this is why all of these years have led up to, for light workers who have been diving inward and trusting within yourself and finding your inner light and doing the work within. This is why it's so powerful, where you're going to bring forward all of that information and all of that knowledge and of your past journey to this moment to be even stronger pillars in your now moment and where you are in terms of who you truly are and what your inner truth is. So while all of these things are sort of being exposed and opened, and in your own individual realities, you're navigating what is truth versus illusion for you, what it's doing is it's not only solidifying that frequency of truth within you and strengthening you in that the now moment, center of the storm, connection to the source within your inner being, but what it's also doing is it's opening and strengthening your connection to freedom, your connection to free will, because what we're going to be talking about along the lines of the reptilian agenda is kind of the stripping away of that free will. So we're not actually going to be going into the reptilian agenda in this episode, but I think it's good. We're going to bring that through in the next episode, so look out for that. I brought through information for probably 4 or 5 episodes right now. They're all connected. They're all connected back to the gut mind and opening up the gut mind and the truth versus illusion in our physical realities, because this is the space that we're navigating right now. But today, again, we're going to talk about how do you navigate your reality with the frequency of truth within. So everything I just talked about regarding sort of the dark energy that's surfacing for us to see truth versus illusion, this is all just kind of general stuff and things that are going on in the collective reality, the collective mind, as all of the energy surfaces, which is simply playing a role of darkness that was once hidden, but is now being illuminated upon by light. Again, as we spoke about in our gut mind series, I'll post those links below. The opening of the gut, which is one of the 3 minds, the gut, the heart, and the brain. But the opening of the gut mind is about illuminating truth within your physical reality, seeing past the illusion and shining light on truth, which is instantly knowing what is real and what is not. Your inner compass will tell you what is real and what is not. And if you're confused, you must always come back to remembering who you truly are, which is non-physical source energy, having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all. It is up to you to figure out what is truth for you and what is not. It is up to you to uncover illusion and shed light on darkness. When you do so, you open a vibration of truth within, which widens the wormhole that you are traveling through as a collective, as a planet, and as a solar system. And only you will know what it feels like to integrate this vibration of truth within, much like only you can know what happiness feels like when you feel it. No one can tell you what it feels like for you to receive the same vibrational effect. Meaning that if someone tells you what happiness is and you just take that knowledge and you say, okay, I know what happiness is, vibration equals an emotional feeling effect. So if you are just taking it in as knowledge without feeling the emotional feeling of it, then you're not going to be vibrating the frequency of happiness. But if you feel happy and you feel what it feels like to be happy, then you are then experiencing the vibrational effect of happiness, and you know that frequency, and you're then vibrating it and reverberating it out into the universe. So this is why this journey is completely your own, and you have to feel what it feels like to open your eyes to seeing truth in your physical reality. And then when you feel that vibration through truth within you, that opens up a huge vibrational resonance out into the world around you, your reality, to then further create your experience in New Earth 5D, which is based on truth, not illusion. You are going through a time when you are uncovering truth within, which may often open in your reality as false illusion in order for you to see and know the truth. This is very much like law of attraction, and how you don't really know what you want until you know what you do not want, until you experience the contrast. And this is why contrast is so powerful in your ability to create, because contrast makes you powerfully know what you do want and more strongly know what you do want. So it opens up your vibration to focusing on those things that you do want. It helps you to streamline what you do want. Seeing and experiencing illusion or false reality in your own reality will help you to see and sense what is real and what is truth within you. Follow your inner guidance, just as you follow your inner vibrational scale for manifestation. Now we're going to share with you how to navigate the inner guidance of truth, which is not the same thing as the inner vibrational scale for manifestation that I know a lot of people know about, what Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks have spoken about, and other people have spoken about as well, that vibrational guidance scale. But this is about what is your inner guidance for truth. And what came through was 4 steps. So pretty easy in terms of recentering yourself to navigating the inner guidance of truth. Each of us have this sort of scale within, or this guidance scale within, that helps us to navigate our reality in terms of knowing what is truth and what is illusion. You may call it intuition, if you will. A lot of people follow their intuition, but this is kind of like a practical scale if you're one of those people who would like steps. So number 1, experience your reality with non-attachment and non-duality. So non-duality with non-attachment opens your ability to see and sense illusion and truth coexisting together. Instead of taking a side with the energy of attachment, you must be able to hold a neutral and balanced stance so that you can see the unfolding with the eyes of Source, that greater perspective. So taking a side, especially with this strong energy of duality at this moment, what it does is it makes you blind and naive to the other side, which essentially only opens further and stronger division and separation, which is what you already see happening strongly around you right now in your collective consciousness, and in how your collective reality is playing out, especially through the herd mentality. However, understanding with a greater perspective, with non-attachment and non-duality, allows you to see and sense the greater unfolding of both dark and light, good and bad, creative and destructive, left and right, up and down, for what it is, for what it exactly is, which is Source energy playing a role in the greater experience of a life form upon Gaia. So number 1, non-attachment and non-duality in your experience of your reality. Number 2 is question everything. Everything that's showing up in your experience is showing up for a reason. You have to ask yourself, Is it showing up to show me truth, or is it showing up to show me illusion? If it's showing up to show me illusion, how can I better and more clearly see and sense truth through the illusion? And if it's showing up to show me truth, how can I strengthen this knowing of truth within me for the greater good of the collective expansion? I go into detail about asking questions in the Inner Being Awareness Retreat, and how important it is to ask questions. And this is something that has helped me personally to dive so much deeper within and receiving information and knowledge from greater universal oneness energy. And this is, again, to ask questions. When you have a question and when you hold a certain vibration of truth within, then your reality is going to respond back to you the answers that you're seeking in alignment to the vibration that you're holding. So this is why it's important to first understand what your truth is within. And the ultimate truth is that you are non-physical source energy, having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all. And when you know that so strongly within, you begin vibrating at that highest frequency. And so then, therefore, when you have a question, your reality will respond to the vibration that you're holding to bring to you answers to your question in alignment to the vibration that you're holding. If you ask a question and you are in a vibration of duality and you've chosen a side, or maybe in the vibration of contrast, if you ask a question, of course your reality is going to bring into your awareness the answer to that question in alignment to your vibration. So if you're in fear, the answers that come to you will come in alignment to the fear that you're holding. So you really have to first understand, before anything, these 4 steps are in alignment to you already knowing what your truth is within. This is a disclaimer. These 4 truths, you must first understand what your truth is within. And then you will open up to knowing what your truth is without. So these 4 steps of navigating your reality with the inner guidance of truth is, again, you must know what your inner truth is, which is very simple. You just have to understand it, and you have to really strongly believe and know that you are source energy having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all. And that is about you staying in that now moment, center of the storm, balanced state with a greater perspective, bird's eye view, eyes of source. And when you're in that place, centered and balanced, then you can begin looking at your outer reality and sifting and sorting what is truth and illusion based upon your inner guidance of truth. So back to number 2 about questioning everything. Again, question everything. There's no wrong, there's no right in your ability to question everything. Your ability to question everything only strengthens your ability to exist with non-attachment and non-duality. And your ability to question everything opens your reality to manifest the answers to your questions to be known to you through law of attraction. Ask and you shall receive. This not only applies to desires, but to questions that you are desiring clarity and answers to. If you are having a hard time distinguishing between truth and illusion in your reality, ask your guides for assistance in making it more clear so that you can see, sense, and know exactly how truth and illusion dance before you in your reality. The answers to your questions will show up for you in your now moment, your knowing mind in your now moment, which is experiencing in non-duality and non-attachment from step 1. Because things can get very sticky in duality, and in the storm that rages around you can be very scattered and very chaotic, if you get caught up in the storm circulating around you, you will find that it's harder to distinguish between truth and illusion. That's really where that portal energy is, right? That warped, distorted energy is. But if you take a step back and find your balance, the inner light and truth within you first, coming back to center, coming back to the truth within you, which is that you are source energy having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all. That truth within you will then help you to see and receive the answers to the truth outside of you. This step of questioning everything and desiring the answers between truth and illusion requires for you to stay in the now moment, which leads us into step 3. Step 3, stay in the now moment. With the storm and war between truth and illusion raging on around you and within your collective experience, it may be difficult for many of you to stay in the now moment. Injustice in the heart can lead to irrational thoughts and actions, and you're wanting to take a side in the playing out of duality. And when you find yourself slipping down the slippery slope of irrational thoughts and beliefs about things that are not of your now moment, you quickly get pulled out of your now moment and therefore get lost in the confusion of nonsensical, warped, distorted Wonderland energy where up is down and down is up. Stay in your now moment to find clarity, remembering who you truly are and knowledge of your important soul mission during this powerful time. Stay in your now moment for truth to be revealed to you and for illusion to be transmuted by you through your connection to Source. When you start to distinguish between truth and illusion in your physical reality, truth is planted more firmly in your now moment. So you start building in truth in terms of building 5D in truth. And what happens to the illusion is it's transmuted through you, just as energy, many forms of energy is transmuted through you as a vessel for powerful change and transmutation. So in your now moment, which is why it's so important to stay in your now moment, is because in the now moment is where you have your connection to the source within. And that is where the most powerful transmutation of energy can happen. So your ability to transmute energy in your now moment is transmuting all of the illusion into truth. You cannot serve the planet and collective when you are distracted by your individual thoughts and beliefs. And you will know the difference between your individual thoughts and beliefs and your greater thoughts and beliefs connected to your soul or the source within, because your individual thoughts and beliefs are accompanied by strong emotional attachment, and the thoughts, which are essentially separating thoughts of thinking that something is good and thinking that something is bad. On the other hand, your greater thoughts and beliefs connected to your soul and your greater source within and greater universal consciousness are accompanied by a strong knowing that all is truly well and that everything is unfolding perfectly and working out exactly the way that it needs to, despite what your individual thoughts and beliefs may be, even if your individual thoughts and beliefs may be rooted in something being good and something being bad in that duality sense. Your greater thoughts and beliefs connected to Source and to your soul is knowing that everything is exactly playing out the way that it's meant to. Stay in your now moment where your connection to the source within is found, and truth will set you free. And number 4, in terms of the 4th step of navigating your physical reality with the inner guidance of truth, is move with the effortless flow of Source. You must remember the power of ease and flow and effortless manifestation. This is ever more important during these intense times of massive resistance and bubbling turmoil. As your collective stands strong in efforting change, resistance to the other side's ideas, and culmination of anger, hate, and trauma rises to the surface. You as lightworkers must remember what we have taught as the powerful, effortless manifestation technique through the law of attraction. Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, all of that information with the law of attraction and creating your own realities. And the power of effortless manifestation. Nothing that you want will come in response to efforting hard. Yes, you can effort hard and receive powerful manifestation, but in these cases, the manifestation occurs due to the efforting, not due to the divine unfolding. But you can also argue that there's divine unfolding in everything, even through the efforting manifestation, but it comes back down to your desire. Would you rather desire to effort hard for something to manifest for you, or would you desire to effort less in manifesting? And we all know the power of ease and flow, moving downstream rather than trying to force your way upstream. So let's rephrase this. Everything that you want in alignment to your greater soul and your source within will manifest in your ability to effort less. When you open effort to manifest what you want, you're opening energy that resists the greater flow of source or universal energy that's taking you where you want to go downstream. And when we say effort, we mean energy that you're expelling to work hard to manifest what it is that you want, not in alignment, but in resistance. Meaning that if you're working in any way that does not feel good, you're efforting. But if you're working in any way that feels good, and it feels in alignment and in ease and flow, then you are effortless. There's a lot of energy of effort and pushing against and resistance in your collective consciousness rising right now. For as long as you take a side in duality, you will add to the efforting energy that is currently manifesting. However, remembering who you truly are, which is non-physical source energy, having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all, is about embracing effortless manifestation for the enactment of change. How do you effortlessly manifest change? You effortlessly manifest change by feeling the change within first, by creating the change within a vibrational vortex space with the intention of moving into that space in your now moment. In our Inner Being Awareness Retreat, we speak about how the way that you create your reality in 5D differs a little bit from the law of attraction. Instead, you're putting the law of vibrational resonance into play to create your reality, or rather create grids to step into. This means that your main focus is not about holding space and desire for specific things to manifest into your experience, but it's about mainly holding focus and space of the feeling of balance in your now moment, feeling of alignment, so that everything that you're creating and which is unfolding in your grids will be in alignment to the divine balance that you hold within. Meaning that you desire a physical 5D experience, yet you do not yet know what that means to be in a 5D experience physically. So instead of looking for specific things, you hold the dominant vibration of balance, ease, flow, and strength within your ability to be flexible and adapt to change, just like a buoy on water. When you hold that vibrational space of balance and ease and flow in your now moment, everything in your reality will begin to resonate in alignment to your vibration. And when you have a question or a desire from that space of balanced, flexible alignment, the universe will provide you an answer or manifestation in alignment to your vibration. And so those were the 4 steps of navigating your physical reality with the frequency of truth within. And so when you're on a path or a journey of finding truth both within and without, the easiest way to play that game is to first find what is truth within. And once you find what is truth within, that will be your guiding light to unfolding truth in your outer reality. And again, discovering what your truth is within is not about anything specific, but like we said, and we will say over and over and over again, it's about understanding and knowing who you truly are, which is non-physical source energy, having a physical experience for the greater expansion of all. That is your frequency of truth. And holding that frequency of truth within will unfold a parade of marching truths and illusions in your physical reality. And through the chaos of duality playing out in your reality, your inner truth will vibrationally pull you towards resonating with outer truth in the chaos around you. And that's what wanted to come through today. We're going to continue with this topic, diving even further into all of the truth and illusion coming forward on the planet right now, and how it aligns to this greater massive solar system awakening happening at the same time. We'll talk more about that over the next few episodes. Thank you so much for being here and for listening in. This podcast can now be found on all podcast platforms. Listen and subscribe on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and as always, it's available on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you in the next episode, and remember that all is truly well. Oneness, love, and peace be with you.